And honestly, good morning, everybody. Sorry, you got me mid-conversation here. And honestly, I could have started with the recursive, but I don't think you would have truly understood this if I had taught you this first. That's the problem with doing recursive. It's really independent from the explicit formulas. But there's drawbacks to the recursive formulas, like I can't find any term that I want. So just know that they represent the same sequences. And that's what I wanted to show here with this warm-up, seeing that, you can write a rule for both the explicit form and the recursive form given the same sequence. Like, let's do number 1 both ways. And then we'll do number 2 both ways. Here's what I mean by that. Number 1 here. First off, I have to decide what is it? Is it geometric or arithmetic? Geometric. What's my R value? 3. Multiplied by 3, right? Multiplied by 3. So for this, I want a sub n, and then a sub, looks like 14 that I want. A sub n, and then a sub 14, right? Remember, I cannot stress it enough. You need to know how to do the equation, because on tomorrow's quiz, guess what this is tomorrow? On tomorrow's quiz, I will be giving you a blank for the equation and then a blank for the a sub 14. Are they coming for me?
Yeah. There's nothing out there.
Probably like a helicopter or something.
Careful.
There's been a lot of those recently.
From time to time they have those big like cargo helicopters.
Yeah.
Because the airport is like there's a national armory there too, so there's a bunch of like warplanes and stuff if we ever need it. That's like it's a weird story. Even this is on the video. You're getting completely sidetracked. But on 9/11, like one of the first airports to like completely shut down was African Canton Airport, because they were worried about like all of the planes surrounding the National Armory over there. Like this is one of the like a big like place where a lot of like the National Guard comes to do all their training and everything. There's a lot of like heavy duty equipment over there that like we never even know about. It's kind of weird. So if you ever see those like big cargo helicopters doing formations and like flying in, they're just practicing. They're just doing their like drills and stuff like that. I had a bunch of friends when I was at OU, all the way down in Athens. When I was at OU, a lot of my friends who did like the ROTC and they had to like go for like 2 weekends a month to go train, they would actually have to come up to the African Canton Airport to train.
That's where Joe Burrow's from.
That's right. I was down in Athens when Joe Burrow was there.
Oh, where? I hate Joe. You were looking at it.
Oh, sorry. You two are like the same person. All right, a sub n is equal to. So now we have this geometric sequence rule. What's a sub 1? 3 in this case, right? The first term, 3 times r. Now, what is r, coincidentally? 3.
Oh, so times 3. So
Right.
the D and the R are the same thing.
Essentially, yeah. D, I'm always going to be adding or subtracting. R, I'm always going to be multiplying. But yeah, essentially, it's the same thing. It's how much it's going up by.
What does D stand for?
Difference. So 3 times 3 to the n minus 1. There's my equation. And remember, this 3, wanted to make that note that is the ratio. Yeah.
How do we know this is geometric now?
Continual multiplication.
And then if it's continual addition or subtraction,
Arithmetic.
then it's arithmetic. And then if it's multiplication or division,
It's geometric.
our favorite.
All right, now, when I go into my equation, yes, question.
Can I write these down on like the top of the test tomorrow?
As soon as you get it?
Yeah.
Actually, questions 1 and 2?
Or what are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yes, you will have to write them down.
Wait, that's the question? It's just the equation?
Yeah, spoiler alert. Question 1, what's the arithmetic sequence equation? Question 2, what's the geometric sequence equation?
Oh, does he like give you numbers or just say like?
No, I just like give you a blank.
What do you want?
It's all the whole thing.
Can we take a picture of this today and stuff?
Yeah, can we be in it?
Yeah.
Where you from? Actually?
Oh, this.
I wish I could. Oh yeah, that's a good place.
Hold that phone.
Oh, you moved this next one. No, you gotta stop moving as I keep. It's like a photo shoot.
Dude, what's up?
Do we have to keep our phones in the thing? Because I always miss these opportunities.
Now a sub 14. I bring that in and say 3 times 3 to the 14 minus 1. Okay, so 14 minus 1 is obviously 13. And it's going to go in as a 13. 3 times 3 to the 14 minus 1 is 13. Big number. 4,782,900.
469.
All right, questions about that? Now, I'd like to go down and do the recursive. Okay? I'd like to shift downward here and do the recursive. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, some of you guys said yesterday, so I've got to memorize those two. Honestly, the recursive formula is like what it means to be geometric or arithmetic. Like, how do you build a recursive formula? You keep multiplying by r, right? That's the formula. Any term is the one before it multiplied by r. That's the formula. Any term is the previous one multiplied by r. So in this case, now remember, for any recursive, you got to say what's a1. Well, a1 is 3. And then state the rule. A sub n is 3 times a sub n minus 1. That's what a recursive rule looks like. Okay. Now, for number 2, let's take a look at number 2. I think we would all agree number 2 is arithmetic, right? 2 is arithmetic. For this one, I say a sub n is equal to, okay, a sub 1 is negative 4 plus n minus 1 times d. What is d in this sequence? 9. Positive 9. Up by 9 each time. So a sub 14 is negative 4 plus 14 minus 1 times 9. Negative 4 plus 14 minus 1 times 9. 113. Okay. Now remember, when you write the equation, it's very important. Please listen. When you write the equation, you leave n in. Yeah, you leave n in. N stays in the equation. Okay, let's write the recursive. So you got to start with a1. a1 is negative 4. And then you say, what's my pattern? Well, think about what makes an arithmetic. The fact that I'm adding d each time. So how do you find any term? You take the one before it, you add d. So a sub n is a sub n minus 1 plus d, which in this case is plus 9. You know, I didn't. I just realized that halfway through doing the warm-up. I'll do that in a second. Yes?
Did you put 9 plus a sub?
Yeah, that's fine too.
All right.
Yep.
For the arithmetic, it's literally like the same thing for recursive and explicit.
Yeah.
Just plus and multiplying is different for the.
Yeah. You just got to know when I want recursive or explicit. And I'll talk about that when I give you the review sheet. I'm going to quickly walk around and look at homework real quick. Yeah. Turn it in online. Yeah? Did you have this? Yeah. Right, I know. See your homework?
I do it too. Bro, you should do the whole time. It's already done.
Huh? Your basketball is weird. Yeah. Here's something.
No. I sent him an email. That's what I'm doing. So he'll call me. Oh yeah, I forgot to say you didn't really grab.
You can turn your sides.
I know. No, see, it's cool because it's geometric, but it alternates signs. Is gonna what's called oscillate. It's gonna go down, up, and then convert.
Freshman.
I write in cursive. I write my numbers in cursive.
You ready for recursive? Boom. Matchup.
It's actually funny.
Thank you.
It's my favorite room. Has nice
Look at
blue
home.
walls.
Oh, with the 8.
And gray, and it switches over all the background. And then
I would.
it has the perfect light for line. And it has the nice little stuff.
The furniture set. The furniture set.
All right. So now that I've checked the homework, are there any questions on the homework that we'd like to talk through or go over? No?
It's not really like a question, but on number 15.
Okay.
It's like I put it as a fraction and I got it right, but like I kind of almost screwed up on it.
Okay.
I almost
You
put,
just wanted-
I almost put -3.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I see why you're saying a negative because it's going down, right? Remember that a negative R value, what a negative R value would do is make the signs flip, not make it go down. So when I'm looking here for number 15, if it's geometric, and how do I know that this is geometric? Well, it's not arithmetic, is it?
Which equation?
Like it's not going down by a certain amount. It's not like decreasing. Like think about it, 9 to 3. That went down 6, right? Did it go down 6 up here? No. So I know that this is not arithmetic. So this only has the possibility of geometric. So R, okay, let's take 81 divided by 243. That's my R value, okay? So 81 divided by 243 is 0.3 repeating. Now remember that 0.3 repeating as a fraction is 1/3, right? If I just said 0.3, watch out for that. That's not going to give you the same thing. So just writing the recursive rule, you say a sub 1 is 243, and then a sub n is 1/3 a sub n minus 1. That make sense?
So
Questions about that?
would be negative.
No. Just because it's going down does not mean it's negative. A negative R value would make the signs alternate. Like 16. Yeah.
Is it going down though? It is a fraction.
It's a fraction.
Okay.
Fraction or decimal.
That's correct.
Yep.
So you go over 9.
9? Yeah. Okay, so building the sequence. I've got 80. And then what am I going to multiply by?
Negative 1/2.
-1/2. So I'm going to say 80 times -0.5. Oh, that's -40. Why am I doing that in there?
Yeah.
-40,
20.
and then +20, -10, +5, and then do I need 6 terms?
Yes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was mainly geometry class yesterday for that
Was it?
5 questions. Because look, all of them are, there's 2 of arithmetic this far.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All the rest.
Any other questions on the homework that we'd like to talk through? Okay, so here's what I would like to do with the rest of the time that we have today. You know me in review sheets, right?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this review sheet. We're going to go over as many questions as possible. I'm going to finish going over the review sheets. I'm going to try to get it done by the end of the period today. But if I don't, I'm just going to, just like I did last time, I'm going to keep teaching, and then I'll post the video online tonight. If there are any questions, that we will have just a few minutes tomorrow at the beginning of class to go over, just a quick thing or two. Okay, but you know me in review sheets. What's the quiz going to look like? Same thing. A lot, very similar to this review sheet. Whoop, sorry. All right. So, let's go through this together. We're going to go piece by piece here, question by question. First things first, test yourself. Don't look at the board, write the equations. See how you do.
Oh,
Don't look at the board, write the equations. And when you have them written down, then look up at the board.
wait, Mr. Elaborate, recursive and explicit?
No, just explicit here. I will look down at 16 and 17. You see how in the directions I tell you recursive? I will be very I will tell you when I want you to use recursive. So how did we do? If you did not get a piece correctly, or if you did not get a piece correct, make sure that you know how to do that. Make sure that you know how to write your equation in. Because if you don't, you're going to be lost on a majority of this quiz.
Okay. The plus sign in the middle of A1.
Yeah, watch out for that. Make sure you put a plus in there. Remember what an arithmetic sequence means. It's adding, right? Remember what a geometric sequence means. It's multiplying. Don't forget that plus in there. And it's always n minus 1. Right? Don't write the n if you don't write the n minus 1. It's not just n, it's n minus 1. All right, so those are 2 formulas. Take a look at the next 2. I'm going to ask you to build the formula, or build the sequences. Like I've got for number 3, the first term is 9 and the common difference is 8. How do I know whether this is arithmetic or geometric based on these? Yeah, one says common difference, one says common ratio. You should know by that terminology that, this is arithmetic. But honestly, I don't really need to know that if I'm just building the sequence. First 5 terms. What am I going to do to 9? Add 8. 17, 25, 33, 41. You can write the ... at the end, but again, it only asks me for the first 5 terms. So that's the answer there. Number 4. I've got -4. Now, will the signs alternate? No. Why? What would make the signs alternate? If you have a negative ratio. See, I've got a negative starting value. But that doesn't make the signs alternate. The signs would alternate if the ratio was negative, not the starting value. So this is just going to keep multiplying by 5. -20, -100, -500, -2500. Questions about that? Okay, let's take a look at 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6 is all about arithmetic, and 7 and 8 as well. And then we'll look at geometric. Now I'll tell you right now, I want to show you what this is going to look like. Arithmetic, D equals the next 3 terms. For 5 and 6, like on your quiz, you're going to have blanks for all of this stuff. The first question is it arithmetic or not? Okay. If you write no, do you have to fill in the rest of the blanks? No, because it doesn't mean any. Is there a difference if it's not arithmetic? No. Next 3 terms wouldn't make sense if it's not arithmetic. Okay, you don't have to finish out the problem if it's not arithmetic. Like, for example, number 5 here. Is number 5 arithmetic? Yes. What's my D value? Yeah, -6, right? I'm continually subtracting 6. So D value is -6. And then we just keep the pattern going for the next 3 terms. 4 minus 6 is -2. -6 is -8. -6 is -14. See, that's when I would use all of the blanks there. Let me show you what this would look like with number 6. Okay, number 6 again, arithmetic. Ooh, I always combine the H and the M. Arithmetic. D equals, and then your next 3 terms. All right. Is 6 arithmetic? No. So let me show you what you do. You write the word no. And then you move on to number 7. Okay, you don't need to fill out the rest of the blanks. But be careful, guys. Well, okay, say this was 4 points. And you wrote a no for number 5. Oh. Do I give you any partial credit? No. Be very sure about your answer with that. Okay? If you're going to write a no, make sure it's not arithmetic. Okay? Same thing for geometric down below, and I'll talk about that when we get there. Let's continue on with the arithmetic. For numbers 7 and 8, find the equation and then the 25th term. Okay, find the equation and then the 25th term. So here's number 7. We want to find a sub n and then a sub 25. All right, now a sub n, arithmetic sequence, top one here. I've got to have a sub 1. What is my a sub 1? Negative 15 plus n minus 1 times d. What is my d in this case? 7. Up 7 times 7. Please remember, leave the n in your equation. Leave the letter n in your equation. Don't replace it with the 25 until you're finding the 25th term. Negative 15 times 25 minus 1 times 7 is negative 15. Is negative 15 plus 25 minus 1. I could have just said 24. Times 7 is 153.
So the first one you do is just kind of like planning out your equation.
Yeah, it's basically the equation that will let you find any term.
Just like setting it up.
Right, and then you find the 25th. Number 8, same thing. Want to find a sub n and then a sub 25. Okay, so for problem 8, what is my a sub 1? 35. What's my d? What's that? Minus 4.5. Be careful with that. It's a minus 4.5. Minus 4.5? 3.5. Oh, yeah, 4.5. Sorry, losing my brain. Negative 4.5. Make sure that you write that as a negative, folks. Make sure you write that as a negative. I like to put it in parentheses to remind myself that it's on the minus sign, that it's a negative 4.5 and not like a minus 4.5. But if you just put a time symbol in there, I guess I would okay. And then we have negative 35 plus 25 minus 1 times negative 4.5. And I get negative 143. So here's my a sub n. Here's my equation. There's my a sub 25. Question 3, yes.
So you're still multiplying the 4.5.
Times the n minus 1, yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
on number 7, why did you go like to the whole equation? And on number 8, you only like because you did the whole equation like twice. And on number 8,
Yeah, I was just showing you plugging it in. Just show them my work.
oh, so you don't have to do that?
No, I was just showing what you should do. Any other questions? Yes.
When I put it into my calculator with the negative 4.5, I got negative 73 for some reason. So I put in 35 plus 24 times negative 4.5.
Yeah, that should be negative 143.
That's what I thought.
Oh, you did not do. What did I do? I did negative 35 in my calculator. People.
That's a free point on the test for Nate.
A free point.
Take off number 8.
I know, free point. This should be negative 73. Whoa, man. Woo.
Just get rid of the test because of that mistake.
Right, because I missed a negative somewhere.
That's all.
Just cancel the whole year real quick.
You're right. Stick tomorrow.
Need a new teacher.
I got
You need to get
Right,
sent back
yeah.
to college.
I missed a negative one place. Oh, jeez. I got a 99.9% on it.
Wait, so, what was the
Determine whether each sequence. Sorry, yeah. The correct answer should be negative 73. I accidentally put a negative in front. The negative should have gone with the 4.5, not the 35. Started with a positive 35. Okay, let's take a look at. Now I know I jumped number 9. I didn't really make this. We jumped number 9. Getting 10.
So we're not doing number 9.
Right. Yeah.
We can't go.
Determine whether each sequence appears to be geometric. If so, find the common ratio in the next 3 terms. Same type of deal. I will give you all of these blanks. Geometric. I will ask for my ratio and my next 3 terms. Okay, is number 10 geometric?
Yes.
Henry?
Well, I was gonna ask a question.
Okay, what was your question, Henry?
So if something is geometric, but you write no, but for whatever reason you still fill in the rest of the blanks, could you?
Well, why would you do that?
I don't know.
What
It's
is?
just
That is a good question.
If you write no, you don't get credit.
Oh.
If you write no and it's a yes, you know.
yeah.
Wait, so if it's not arithmetic, does that automatically mean that it's geometric?
You could be neither.
Because
How
like
does that work?
what? Well,
Because then you could multiply one and then add by one.
yeah, exactly. Like what's the pattern here? 1 up 2 is 3. Up 3 is 6. Up 4 is 10. Up 5 is 15. What's the pattern here? Is it geometric? No. Is it arithmetic?
Yes. No.
No. But you know what pattern this is?
Linear.
No.
Either.
It's called quadratic. And we'll talk about that in chapter 7.
So if it doesn't have a pattern at all,
Look at the pattern. No, this definitely does have a pattern.
+2.
Look at my pattern.
It goes up by 1.
Right.
Oh,
The common differences go up by 1.
I've noticed that on the homework.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. That's actually a quadratic. Anyway,
Is that gonna be on the test?
no. He asked if it's not arithmetic, is it geometric? And I said no. Because there's things like this. All right, so is this geometric? I'm going back to my question. Nobody has answered my question.
Yes.
Is 10 geometric?
Yes.
No one has answered my question correctly.
No.
No.
It is not.
How?
Because 3/5 is not times 3.
3/5. Oh, so what are you saying?
3/5 times 5 is not 3.
You're the one that told me it was
3/5
Is it?
times 5.
Oh, it is. So it is.
That's what I thought.
That means it is.
Yeah?
That's a free point.
Ah. What is 15 times what is 45? 15 times 3, not 5. Ooh, I was tricky here. 3/5 times 5 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. But what is 15 times 5? 75, not 45. Okay? So number 10 is a no. Number 11, oh, come on. Let's check.
wait, so that one would be like nothing, like neither?
Correct. And then I'm going to find my R value and my next 3 terms. All right, is number 11 geometric? Well, I don't know about you guys. Can you tell what the ratio is just by looking at it? I can't.
I can't.
It goes from my positive to negative.
Shh, quiet, please. So remember that if you want to find your ratio, quiet, please. You take the second term. You divide it by your first term. So negative 1620 divided by 2160, negative 0.75.
So it is geometric.
So, I have only checked the first 2 terms. I must check to see, is negative 1620 times negative 0.75, is it 1215? So times negative 1620, it is. So I can say, yes, this definitively is geometric. So my R value is negative 0.75. And then I keep the pattern going. Multiply by negative 0.75 times negative 0.75 times negative 0.75. Now, you can round your answers here. So negative 911.25. Just go to the nearest 100. So this would be negative 683.44. And this one would be negative 512.58. Negative 512.58.
I feel like
Okay.
arithmetic is easier than
Quiet, please. So this is what that would look like. And if it doesn't come out even, just round it to the nearest hundredth. That's fine. Okay. Let's keep it going. Just a couple more questions here. Unless we get done, or you have to watch the video tonight.
I want to watch the video.
Well, if we can't get the other ones done, then it doesn't
help
matter.
me study.
What's wrong?
If we can't get the other ones done, then it doesn't matter because we won't have these ones, and then we'll have the other ones.
If you don't do it,
Oh
it
well,
doesn't matter.
you do have a video on right now. So.
We're gonna have to watch the video regardless.
All right, let's take a look at number 12.
I say just not finish so you get some more views.
Let's take a look at number 12. Write the equation for the nth term of the geometric sequence. All right, so a sub n and a sub 8. Okay, so for number 12, I start at 3. And what's my common ratio here? Times 2. Times 2 to the n minus 1. So a sub 8 is 3 times 2 to the 8 minus 1. Now remember, when I go to plug it in my calculator, I'm going to use 7, right? So 384. For number 13, I want to find a sub n and then a sub 8. Okay, a sub n is 1,000 times, now I have to figure out what my common ratio is. So I'm going to, for my ratio, I'm going to take 250 and divide it by 1,000. You might be tempted to say 4 because you think about dividing by 4. No. 1/4, which is 0.25. And then I put that in. I say 1,000 times 0.25 to the 8 minus 1. It's probably a really small number. 1,000 times 0.25 to the 7th power, 0.061.
What?
Shh, stop talking. Questions through 13 there. Now, the rest of this review sheet is your homework from last night, right? It's the recursive formulas. And remember, that's just basically what the definitions of those pieces are. Previous term plus D or previous term times R. Okay? All right, let's take a look. Number 14. I want to build the equation for 6 terms. First term for number 14 is negative 3. What am I going to continually do? What's my rule telling me? Add 8. Positive 5, positive 13, positive 21. How many terms? 6 terms. And then 37. Just build the sequence out. Number 15, I start with 7. And then what am I going to do each term? Multiply by 2. 14, 28, 56, 112, 224. See, I always have to give you a starting value and then tell you what the pattern is. Pattern of constant addition for arithmetic, pattern of constant multiple for geometric.
Do you always have to put the dot at that?
No. No. If I just say write these terms, then you don't have to put it. Okay, now flipping it around, just to finish it out, writing the recursive rule. Now remember, for every recursive rule, like you're going to have this problem right before it. I'm showing you what a recursive rule should look like right before it. Every recursive rule is going to have 2 parts. It's going to have the a sub 1, and then it's going to have the a sub n. You have to always start out with your a sub 1. So 2 here and 4/3 here. Now what's my pattern up top? Adding 3. A sub n minus 1 plus 3. That's my whole recursive rule there. What's my pattern for 17? Times negative 3. So it's negative 3 times a sub n minus 1.
You should put the semicolon.
Yeah, semicolon.
Okay?
I'm gonna put
Now, if you're thinking back, the recursive rule for number 16 is the same as the recursive rule for my warm-up. What's key there is the difference that a sub 1 is different. Okay? You always have to state your a sub 1. That's why it's so important.